Apologies everyone for the delay in this description of how I've set the electric motor up in the Carrari. It's been pretty busy. The fuselage basically is exactly the same as an IC glow plug motor. The electric motor is mounted off the same firewall and the hatch magnetically connected, of course. Now what I've done is put two hatches, one top and one bottom, for access to the standoffs and ease of access for any maintenance you might want to do, and installation as well. So this one basically has a tiny little screw in through the front nose piece and another one in through the firewall, so that guy just lifts off. The bottom one just comes off like so. Oh, come on, too good a fit. And two little pieces of ply, two little screws in through there, plus an air scoop, a couple of air scoops to let the air through, keep her cool. I'm running Extreme Flight 22, I'll just turn that a little, you might be able to see that. Extreme Light 22, which is basically 60 size 6S. Aluminium standoffs drilled with stainless bolts and nylock nuts, and an extra thick mounting plate on the back of the motor. I did this because of the narrow fuselage. You've got to have the mounting plate a lot narrower than normal, so I made it out of 8th 6061T6 and made it long and thin. Standoffs just normal aluminium, which are drilled, and this allows you to shim for your correct down thrust and right thrust. I'll just turn this guy over again so you can have a look at the underside. Now while I've got this upside down, you'll notice I've got a little hatch here. Take that off. This is because of the diameter of the prop, and I'm running a 15.8 or a 16.7, and I found when I felt that the 16.7 was just a little bit big, and it just sort of I don't know, it just had more control. It just felt like it had more control over the plane rather than, I don't know, it's just hard to explain. It's just overawed the plane in some way. So I went to a 15.8 and different aircraft altogether. So the prop just didn't control the whole thing. I've got a hatch here. I've got a carbon fibre landing gear, which is normally a lot wider than that, so I've cut it into two sections, and I'll take that off later and show you. It's off an Extreme Flight type aircraft. And the reason, and while I've got this here, I'll just show you the rear. So it's just a normal setup with the rudder. So we just, nothing super special there. Now battery mounting is another one that a question was asked for, the hatch for the battery. The hatch, if I just set this on, back on the top, and this normally just locks in. What I've done, I have a 4mm plywood tray with a little extension on one end and this plate and a hole in the other end covered in Velcro, and then I'm actually running 6S HRB 5100C, which is just unbelievable battery. Now that fits in that area like so, and that drops down into there, and I'll show you that once I've got the wing on. So that's basically, you slide the battery in, there's a tiny little bolt and a washer, and once that's in back to about there, I'll just try and move this up a bit. Sorry guys, it's a little bit rough here. That basically sits over the Sea of G, and this aircraft has just got absolutely no vices. There's no change in the Sea of G because you're not losing 10 ounces of fuel, and you haven't got a big weight up the front or further back as a pendulum effect. With a pendulum effect, so you've got a big weight up here pushing. This is right over the Sea of G, which is your heaviest part. And of course the aircraft does not change whatsoever in anything. So once it just stays exactly as you've trimmed it, nothing changes. Just a beautiful thing to fly. Now if I turn this up again, you'll see that I've got these two pieces of balsa across there, receivers in there. Hi-Tech 430 BH rudder servo with cables. Now these two pieces of balsa hold the battery against the Velcro once it's sitting on the wing. If I can just show you that, that's basically where it sits. And you feed it in through the front, sits on top of the wing, and there's a little section on the wing that I'll show you for that. So there, that locks in. Plenty of room in the front for the ESC, just running a normal Turnigy 80 amp, 5 amp back, which has absolutely been no issues at all. So we've got that guy on there, a little screw goes in through the firewall to hold that there, another one in through the front of the nose ring, goes in there, that's just locked in, easy to remove, easy maintenance. You can adjust your thrust, whatever you want to do. This guy is just a block of balsa, two little dowels that go into a hole at the back, and that just pops in, and one screw either side, just in through there. That's it. Then you come back to your normal spinner, blah blah blah. What do you guys know, don't? And the only other thing is just two magnets that just hold the canopy on. So we'll just pop that in to show you. That's it. Away you go. Now the tray mounting for the battery. Basically all we've got is just this half moon with a slot. And when the wing is on the plane, you just drop the tray in, sits in that slot, little bolt in the front, locks it down. But of course you do it with the battery on, and that line there is nice, correct Sea of G. So you drop it down in, slide it in, that sits there, and I've made it so that this is just a fraction above the mounting bracket in the fuse, and when you screw it down it just puts a little bit of tension on. Then those two pieces of balsa that are inside the fuse, just basically clear that by about a mil or so. And right over the Sea of G, which is absolutely perfect. Exactly where you want it. I originally was going to go with a single servo in the old style. Linkages for the ailerons, then I changed my mind, so there's a big hole there, so I've had to cover it up, but I was work in progress, as you know, and so they're just the two servo leads. But what I have found that might interest you is it definitely flies, even though the gaps on the aileron, the control surfaces, let's say, are pretty tight. I did put tape over the control surface joints where they meet the aileron, elevator and the rudder, and the difference was quite astounding. It was quieter, so obviously there was, I might have had a bit of flutter, I don't know. It's pretty quick to sing, and it definitely flies better with, I use Blenderm tape, and I'll just lift that up and show you. So I've just put the tape tape through there. On both sides, and definitely an improvement in the way it flies. There's just no question about that at all. It is just an absolute peach, this thing. It's quick if you want it to be. It knife edges like nothing, no elevator input, nothing. You just roll it on its side and just a touch of rudder, and it'll go as far as you can see it and does not move. Stall turns over the top. Absolutely, and on its back you roll it inverted, and you only just have to breathe on the elevator to keep it. If you want to do a long straight run, super slow rolls, exactly the same. Only just got to breathe on the rudder in the elevator. It's just an absolute delight to fly. Brings back memories from the 70s where I used to compete. Just an unbelievable aircraft. I made a stand up because the wing goes on the bottom, not like the later ones where the spar goes through. So you have to set the fuse up nice and solid so you can mount it. So that's basically what we've got. And on the front, just the cockpit canopy off, and piece of ply there with a, I'll just try and lift that up for you if I can, just show you. There we go, just sits on that, doesn't go anywhere. Now the battery tray, bit dark in there, so just apologise, but I'm holding a handheld LED light here for you. You can see inside. Basically this is the tray. There's a little block with a thread. So that guy just slides in, and that's where it sits. That's now hooked in the little bracket in the wing. That is simple nylon bolt, piece of ply, straight into there. Sorry guys, just and screw it down, locks it in, plug her in, away you go. So we just pop that out. I'll just put that down for a second. Now we'll slide our battery on up to the black line. Give it a little push. Slide that in. Nice little fit there. There she is, all in, ready to go, can't go anywhere. In with the bolt, tighten it up. Plenty of room to plug her in, and away you go. Simple as that, just simple stuff. I don't know what else I can tell you. What I will do is I'll probably put it on my YouTube channel because Facebook will reduce the quality a bit. So I've got a YouTube channel, so I'll when I post this on the group side, I'll put the link on. Thanks guys, hope it's some help. Thank you very much.